Hi everyone and welcome back to the Global AI Student Conference. In our next presentation, we will learn how to build a bot using the Azure bot services. Let's welcome our next speakers, Tina Popli and Aditi Sharma, two Microsoft Learn student ambassadors. Hey Aditi, hi Tina.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
We're good.
I'm good. How are you all doing?
Good. We're very excited for being here. We would like to know you a bit better. Can you tell us a few things about yourself?
All right. So I'm Aditi Sharma. I'm a Beta Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador, and I'm currently in my bachelor's degree. So I'm currently at Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering in my third year. So off to Tina.
Thank you, Aditi. I'm Tina Popli. I'm a Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and coincidentally, we both are from the same college. And I'm in my fourth year of my engineering and a software developer intern as well. Looking forward for this session.
Thank you. So you can share your screen and we can get started.
All right. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Uh, all right. So Okay, so thank you everyone for joining in. So today in today's session, we'll be walking you through the basic concepts of AI. So get ready to build your first AI chatbot. So before we start up, we know that while building a chatbot model, we have three configurations. So first we have the execution package, then we have our intent package, and we have the backend model. So the intent model basically describes the user intentions of covering both the texture and the graphical intents. So that's like when you have your images or text, or when you just click on a button, or there are a lot of different options and you have the radio options. So these are basically defined as your intents. So the whole point of basically having a front end is it acts as an interface between the user and the backend of whatever is to be executed. So the Azure Bot Services basically provides us with an integrated development environment for building, and it's integrated with the Power virtual agents. So it's fully hosted and it's a low-code platform. So it enables all the developers to enable their technical abilities to build conversational AI bots, and it's like we have no code needed. So coming to the bot framework composer. So the bot framework composer basically is an open source IDE. So it enables you to manage conversational experiences. The developers have to access language understanding to train models with natural language processing capabilities and adaptive dialogues for dynamic conversational flow. So we also have the language generation to help convey clear brand voice and Q&A maker to extract the FAQ. Then the packages are basically a game changer in the framework composer. So why are packages actually important? So they increase the need of rewriting the code, and they increase the extensibility with better sharing capabilities. Not only this, it basically allows you to connect with skills seamlessly. So now I would like to ask Tina to share her screen and walk you through the actual making of the bot.
Thank you, Aditi. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So, as Aditi mentioned about all the various ways of creating an AI chatbot, today we are going to show you using Bot Framework Composer. So, let me go through the Bot Framework Composer. So, today we are going to do a hands-on for Joke Bot. So, as soon as you trigger, as the user puts a message like joke or tell me a joke, please tell me a joke, the AI chatbot gives you a trigger with respect to a joke using API call today. So before even starting how to create a bot, let me show you a simple sample of it, that how does it work actually. So I'm going to start the bot. Meanwhile, this is the bot framework composer. It is divided into 4 sections. So the leftmost is the navigation pane, having all these options. This is the bot experiences. So as and when I keep creating conditions, triggers, and bots, it's all going to appear over here. This one is the canvas. So this one is the canvas, and this is the property lane. So let me open web chat and let me tell a joke. So the bot responds with sure thing, how many apples grow on a tree, all of them. So let me again tell, please tell me a joke. It again triggers and gives a joke. So let's go back to how to create the simple joke bot. And let me go here, home, create new. So there are 2 options. Either you can create with C# or Node. So I'm going to do it with Node, empty bot. Next. And let's name it as joke bot sample. Okay. And create. So it might take a few seconds to minutes to load up all the packages. And I would say that this is not a no code, but it is a low code tool. Why am I saying this is because once you create the bot over here at the background, so I hope you saw the location where I saved it. I saved it in the C drive as of now. So whatever location or path you have entered as the location path, the code is going to be saved there. So there are 2 ways. Either you can run your bot here in the bot framework composer, or the second way is to download the code from that location path and run it in your desired IDE. For example, let's say Visual Studio Code. Or the third option is just give it to your developers who are going to continue with the same code. So these are some of the options where you could actually make use of this AI bot. Let us wait
All
for it.
right. So I'd like to add a point. So Azure is basically a pay-as-you-go platform. And so whatever you are using on Azure, so you will basically only pay for the essentials or the needs that you're accessing or using while building your model. And as you saw when Tina wrote a joke on her web chat, so it automatically triggers a joke. And even when she says, please tell me a joke, you get a joke. So joke is the main keyword that we are using. So we'll tell you how you can actually integrate this joke in your chatbot and how your bot actually recognizes and how Azure, this bot framework composer is reducing your whole need of writing a lengthy code of finding the keyword.
The keywords, yeah.
Yeah.
And this can be deployed using Azure. And okay, so it has started. So you can see the default greeting and unknown intent. So this, as I clicked on the empty bot, it's going to let me create a AI chatbot from the scratch. So as a beginner, at a beginner stage, you can make use of this very easily. So let's go to the greeting. So you can see the joke bot sample, there's nothing. Let's go to greeting. So what does the greeting do? As soon as you enter the chatbot, you would have you would have seen that there was a greeting called as welcome to your bot or welcome to your joke bot. That is where the actual response of the bot is actually starting. So let us do one thing. Since it's starting from here, let us edit it and say welcome to your joke bot. Okay, enter. So you can see that it's changed. Welcome to your joke bot. And one more thing, I missed sharing it there, but if I would not have put joke or please tell me a joke, let me say I would have put hello, hi, how are you doing? That wouldn't have given a response in this scenario. So instead of not giving a response, there is an unknown intent saying, sorry, I didn't get that. So that comes under my unknown intent. So let us start. So in bot framework composer, there are terms like triggers. So what is a trigger? As soon as the user enters any value or enters a phrase, the bot actually triggers the action and again responds it, right? There are various kinds of triggers. Let me create a new trigger here. And before actually doing this, let me, okay, this one, add new trigger, intent. Let me give a name, joke intent. Okay. Write an expression. Okay, there is some error. Let us see what is the error. Condition there does not match. Okay. Let us do this. Yeah. So let me change the default recognizer to regular expression. What does my regular expression do is, you might have heard of regular expressions in various languages and while learning. So we'll put an expression or a pattern or a formula, which is actually going to match the bot. So let me add a trigger now. And let's say intent, you would have seen the intent recognized. Let's put joke intent. Okay. And okay, joke dot dialogue. Okay. Yeah. Now, so you can see a joke intent which is created, which was not initially there. Now, you can see this plus sign where we are actually going to add conditions. So this particular what you can say, a section of the bot framework composer is nothing but your canvas where you're actually going to drag and drop and actually make conditions. So plus, so whenever I put, as a user, I put the phrase joke or please tell me a joke, what does the bot do? It said sure. So let us create a response, send a response. It will say sure or sure thing. Let me do it for you. Okay. So we need to make the bot as a human, right? You need to get the feeling that a human is actually texting you or messaging you with replies. So sure thing, let me do it for you. Now, due to time constraint, we have used an API call. Let me show you how. So once the bot says, sure thing, let me do it for you, it takes jokes from this particular API call. So you can see there are various jokes here, right? Now let's go back and create a HTTP request, send a HTTP request. So we use get method and let me put the URL. Okay, URL and yeah, here we put joke dot okay, let's create a new one. Let's delete it, create a new one, send a HTTP request. Get, okay. Now, after it sends a request, actually, what does it do? So once the user says joke, then the bot replies, sure thing, let me do it for you. It's actually going to take the joke from the API call, right? For that, we have sent a HTTP request. HTTP request. Once you have sent the HTTP request, the bot has to reply you with the joke. So let me show you the call again. So this includes the setup and the punchline, right? The content includes the setup and the punchline. So what am I going to do here is again send a response, because the joke is coming in the form of a response, not a HTTP request or not a dialog box, right? So once I do that, I can do dialog, or for easier convenience, I can just copy this. Put it here. Okay. I don't know why this is not coming. Dialog. Why am I doing joke response is because it is stored in the form of joke response here, and we are taking it in the form of joke response, which is again coming in as a sender response. So through dialog joke response, it is taking the setup and the punchline content. So let me show you. So let's go through the flow once again, right? So how does the flow starts? It starts with greeting. We have welcome to your joke bot. It comes to the unknown intent only when the phrases of the triggers does not match with these triggers, which is the joke or the, let me add the triggers. So triggers must be joke, or let's say tell me a joke, or yeah, this should be fine. Okay. So as soon as the trigger matches with the joke or tell me a joke, it immediately comes to this response, that is the joke intent, which is with respect to the trigger phases. Once it sends a response, it comes to the API, and many a times within our websites and apps also, we call the API. Through that, you can send in your AI chatbot, which very easily using the bot framework composer. So you have the get request, you have the result property, and once it sends a HTTP request, it again comes to your chat and sends in the response. So let's check whether it works or not. Start bot. So there are two ways of starting a bot. Let me show you. One is through the web chat, as I showed you earlier. Second is through the bot framework emulator. So let us check both the ways. Yeah, so it started. Let's check to the open. Okay, welcome to your joke bot. Joke. See, it works now. Sure thing, let me do it for you. What did the zero say to the hit? Nice belt. Let me say, tell me a joke. This also work. Please tell me a joke. This also works. Let me do hello. Doesn't work. It goes back to the unknown intent, which says, sorry, I didn't get that. Right? So this is a basic method of creating a simple joke bot, as a bot. Now let me run it through the emulator. So you need to use the bot framework composer. You need to install bot framework composer. So I'm using the version 2.1.2. And to use the emulator, you need to again install the bot framework emulator. So let us see, the bot has started. Welcome to your joke bot. Joke, or let me say hello. Hi. Sorry, I didn't get that. Okay. Joke. Okay. So it triggers with a joke over here. So this is a simple method of creating a joke bot. And you can make this with respect to various fields. It might be your, for example, you might have seen some hospital websites having chatbots. You might be having chatbots in various university websites, in various websites, because these days, as we have already seen so many sessions, and even Aditi mentioned that AI has grown to the next level, right? So let us create more and more, let us grow the technology with more and more knowledge we have. And I'm looking forward to see many more bots by all of you. Over to Aditi.
Thank you so much, Tina, for walking us through the hands-on of how you can make your bot. So just to summarize on what all you have covered. So while in the starting, you mentioned about C# and the Node.js. So you can show that how and where it's stored.
So, yeah, I
Yep.
missed out that. So, this is the joke bot we created right now. We have an option called a show code, right? So, this is the code actually. So, we haven't created this code. As I mentioned, this is not a no code tool, it is a low code tool. So, the location I have saved this bot, there, all my code is actually saved at the backend, right? So as and when you keep adding triggers, you keep adding condition, dialog boxes, and more intents, everything keeps on adding to your code, which can then be continued with your desired IDE or the same IDE, or you can just pass it on to your developers, and they can continue creating the bot.
Yes. So C# or Node.js doesn't actually mean that you are supposed to be coding in that language. It's just that when you store your code or see your code, it's stored in that particular language. So as you
Yeah.
can see, Tina sharing her screen, and you can see there are two options which she mentioned in the start, that's C# and the Node. So you can use both of them. Both of them will provide you with the same framework, that's the front end. But in the back end, your code is basically stored in C#, and that's why you have been provided with two languages in whichever you are comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just to
And
summarize on our, yeah, Tina, you want to go?
yeah, I was just mentioning that these are various templates you can use. This was the basic level. We created from the scratch using the empty bot template. There are various templates like chat bot, core bot with language, bot with question and Q&A maker, assistant bot. All of these might be advanced at a level, but looking forward to all of you using this one by one and letting us know how you did it.
Yeah. So we'll just summarize our today's session. So we talked about how Bot Framework Composer and the Azure Bot Services basically provides us with a low-code platform to make our own bot. And we Azure is basically pay and go platform, and to make your own bot, you need to install the bot framework emulator and the bot framework composer. Also, if you're using the Azure services, so you can use the Azure services tool too. Tina, you can show the Azure
So you
services
you
too.
can also sign in with your Azure account, and using your
Yeah.
Azure account you have features like Azure bot. So previously there was web app chatbot. Now you have Azure bot as well, which you can make use of to create such bots from beginner level to the advanced level and deploy it within your Azure account and take it forward.
All right. Yeah. So we have triggers and intent to basically identify and process different keywords and qualifiers in the bot. And then it makes our work easier by the autofill in with the syntax. And then we do not need to save our code again and again, or whatever we are writing on the bot compose framework. So we can just restart our bot, or we can just start our bot again from the web chat, which Tina showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is there anything, Tina, that you would like to add in? So I have summarized the points.
Yeah. So there is one more way of creating chatbot using Q&A maker. So that is also included here, although you can go to the website and create one. So I can show you here itself. So when you go to home, create new. So you can see this Q&A maker, which has templates already existing for with respect to the Q&A, right? So empty bot, we had options to create with various dialog boxes, triggers, and conditions, regression, this regular expressions, and so on. So all of these have their own purpose and levels to use. You can see here you can see the description here as well. Empty bot starts from the scratch. Q&A maker is for the question and answer bot, and assistant bot. And one of the previous session also had speech, right? So you can also include text to speech to text, and various ways of including technologies in the bot. So yeah, this is all about our session. Hope you enjoyed, and let us know if you have any doubts further, using our LinkedIn IDs or anything.
Well, thank you so much for your presentation. I remember like one of the very first like tools that I ever created in Python was creating a bot with code. So seeing how you created it in like AI Maker in our platform was just super cool.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm not able to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Tina,
go.
you
Can you
can
hear me
stop
now?
share.
Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, that's
Yes, yes.
fantastic. My mic was not on. But what I was saying was, first of all, thank you so much. Your project was really cool. I remember hard coding a chatbot as like my very first project when I was learning Python. So seeing it in Azure was super neat. And we have two questions for you. The first is, once you create your bot, can you publish it onto an app or website and share it with people?
Yes, you can deploy it either using Azure, or you can, as I mentioned, that there is a show code option or the downloadable code option. You can download the code and proceed further with your own methods of deploying the chatbot.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. And our second question for you is, right now, like, you created the bot using low code. Is there a way in the future, like, say you wanted to add more detail to it, to then add code as well to it?
Aditi, you want to take over?
I did not get the question.
Yeah, the question was, so right now you created the bot entirely with low code. Let's say you wanted to add like some more complexity
Yes.
to it. Could you add some code to it later on?
Yes, you can add your code because as Tina told that you have the show code option. So you can add the code, you can see the pre-existing code. So if you're stuck and you can carry on writing your own code, but you'll have to keep in mind of the integrations that are done inside the Azure Frame Composer. So you'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, you are free to use it in your own IDEs.
Yes.
This is for a low code method wherein you're just getting it so quickly and easily, right? So that's the whole point of creating a bot here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the stream today. Your demo was extremely impressive, and also your detail was amazing. And I think we're about ready to go to our next speaker. So let me welcome to
Thank
this
you.
to the stage. We have disaster risk monitoring using satellite imagery with Kevin McFall. And Kevin is a master instructor for the NVIDIA Deep Learning Institute. And we're super excited to hear more about your presentation in a little bit.